What's up, everybody? I'm going to go over some stuff today. Joe Rogan is one of the most commonly mistyped celebrities. And today we are going to go over a little bit of footage to explain some things to you. So the first thing I want you to notice is the reason I'm comparing him to Bill Burr is because Bill Burr is like a quintessential ESTP, despite what someone recently typed him as, which is completely ridiculous. ENFP is completely ridiculous for Bill Burr. So you notice that Joe Rogan always wants to talk about theories and abstractions and speculations. And when he's talking to more grounded people, sensory people like Bill Burr, you notice how Bill Burr quickly brings him back to reality, kind of like where did that come from sort of thing. And so you'll see this difference between the two. Joe Rogan is like, his favorite thing to do is to talk about theories and abstractions. And so that's, when it comes down to typing a person, all your cognitive function theories are irrelevant when it comes down to the basics like that. So if someone is primarily interested in abstractions and theories and speculating, they're simply not a sensing type. It's just the way it is.
I think this is Fight Club.
Tiny monkey people that can barely get by. Mountain lions running through the streets. Is that what you want? Yeah.
By the way, dude, the elk's been delicious.
Thank you. How do you like it?
I made this American chop suey with it, and my wife gave a fucking bad review before anybody even tasted it, and everybody just said, fuck it. Like, she goes, it looks like Hamburger Helper. I've been chowing it for like 4 days. Like, out of respect for that fucking elk that you shot. It's like, I'm eating all this shit. I don't care if it's fucking bad.
Does it make you more aggressive?
What?
Elk.
No, Joe, you fucking lunatic. Somebody gets in my face, that might cause me to get more lunatic. I eat a little bit of protein. You had to beat the fuck out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just fucking chill out.
So yeah, this is one of the best moments. Actually, this titled that. It's a really great podcast. Actually, this was the 2016 presidential election. Bill Burr just completely owned the entire room. I mean, just dominated. And several times Joe Rogan tried to like bring back the dominance to him, but he was just unable to do it. So Joe Rogan, he is the most commonly mistyped person. Everyone thinks he's an STP because he's athletic, he's muscular. People have this idea. People focus too much on the way someone looks and forget the fact that, you know, personality types can come in all kinds of different looks and flavors, you know, and there's a ton of NT types out there that want to be capable in every way imaginable, including training in martial arts, lifting weights, things like this. It's actually pretty common for NTs to want to feel capable. It's very high on the priority list. And NTs want to know as much as humanly possible. NTs are the types to learn skills, even if they may not even use the skill in the present. And they will learn a skill and hold it in reserve for future use. So it's actually very common for NTs to have a wide range of physical skills, including martial arts, and to be into weightlifting and stuff like that. You can't just take one look at a person and say, oh, he's muscular, he's built well, and he can fight well, then he must be ESTP. It's just, literally everything the guy talks about is theories and abstraction. The guy comes up with some of the wackiest things, you know, and he's also a very intelligent guy, and but at the same time, you notice a real ESTP is often putting him in his place and saying, here, that's a little bit abstract, let's get back to reality here. You see it all the time. I got a couple more clips, actually, I'm going to show you.
Yeah, you're just looking at him like you could sign with who was that big modeling
Ford.
agency? Yeah, like that all like Cindy Crawford and all them were with back in the day.
The Vikings. It's Viking blood. The best looking people. They went over there and raped and pillaged, and all that good DNA is left there. They caught the best women. They kept them alive. Killed everybody else.
Oh, is that what happened?
Oh yeah.
See, there's another example. Joe Rogan, you have to look at the things people gravitate towards, not just, the things that people talk about most, but what's the thing they want to talk about the most? What's the first thing they think of to talk about? And this is a common dynamic you'll see between SPs and NTs, is the NT, or other intuitive types as well, will want to start talking about a theory, or like speculating about their own theories on a subject. And the SPs kind of had enough at a certain point. They may humor the intuitive type for a little while, but then they just kind of had enough after a certain amount of time. But you'll see this all the time. You'll see this constantly with Joe Rogan.
I don't know what happened.
I think he's an ENTP, by the way. Either that or a very extroverted INTP who's just kind of resolved to live a more extroverted life. Because he comes off a little more measured in his speech than most ENTPs, but I'm going to say ENTP as far as his type.
But
that's why they're so big, beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, they're super
Perfect
tall.
features.
That's one of the funniest things ever. When you go over to like the what do they call those? The Nordic, and then Scandinavia's within the Nordic countries. I always have to remind myself of that. My dream hasn't come true yet.
So Bill Burr humors him a little bit, but then instantly comes back to reality and points out a more concrete example.
Why they're so big,
or application in reality, and more
beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, they're super
Perfect
tall. That's one of the
features.
funniest things ever. When you go over to like the what do they call those? The Nordic, and then Scandinavia's within the Nordic countries. I always have to remind myself of that. Like you go over there, it was the funniest fucking shit because they're so goddamn tall. There would be kids almost my height whose voices hadn't changed yet, and they had the mentality of like an 11-year-old, and they'd be like, "Mom, except they were speaking that when they were talking, and their voice hadn't changed yet. And I was just sitting there laughing my ass off, going, "These are like fucking, yeah." They were like, everybody was like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", like rail thin with their fucking.
So he instantly goes to a past story and gives a real life example instead of theorizing about why Vikings are why Scandinavian people are so tall. It's just interesting to see how Bill Burr, he always wants to bring Joe back to reality. He's always wanting to go, let's talk about something real again. And it's the same thing with the elk meat. Bill Burr wanted to talk about the elk meat and how delicious it was. And you knows about Bill Burr, he's very in tune with his senses. He always wants to talk about like the vividness of colors and how, he's very descriptive in his sensory acuity. And he notices little details in people. Like in an interview with Conan not too long ago, he noticed something weird about his shoes. He always notices little details about people, and he'll kind of hone in on it and use it as something to riff off.
There and tell me that was learned.
Well, here's the thing. That's only women. Because when you see Jason Momoa playing Aquaman, you don't hear men saying that's an impossible standard of beauty that we have to.
No, I just
keep
make
up
fun of
with.
that fucking stupid
The
thing he has to
trident.
hang on to.
So this is another thing you see with STPs a lot. The STs in general, they usually hate superheroes that are unrealistic, like Superman, for example. They tend to like the more realistic ones, like Batman or something that you can imagine being happening, like Spider-Man. But the ones that are more fantastical or not realistic, like Bill Burr continues to make fun of Aquaman because it's so ridiculous. Whereas an intuitive type is more willing to entertain the idea. I've actually noticed a lot of STPs have never seen Star Wars too, and have no desire to see it. They just don't care about that kind of stuff.
I don't care how much you can kick my ass. That is the dumbest shit. You used to be on a fucking cereal box.
It's a trident.
For years, they had a problem like with Aquaman. It's like he's in the ocean. Human beings are on Earth. Like, what do we... Like, I have to see that fucking movie. What are they going to be? Is it going to be like Japanese people like finning? Is he going to save sharks?
He goes underwater. Is that his skin? Like, well, the bumps? What is that? Is that a suit?
Doesn't water get in the gloves? you think that have to be all one piece, right?
Yeah.
That would be annoying as shit.
Classic STP. Just instantly the realism. And that would not work in real life. That's going to be really annoying to an STP in a movie if something like that doesn't make sense.
Any worse than water
Or is
in your gloves?
unrealistic.
Well, look, it looks like it catches them like a water catcher. Like not just like water gets in the gloves. It's like a funnel.
He looks like a stripper at a bachelorette party.
He does. A good one. Like you paid money. You got a good one. Guy dieted down for that.
Yes, he did, and he got all the abs. So he's better than I am. Oh, this is the fall
That's
look.
a different one.
Yep.
The fall look.
This is when he's in the Black Sea. You know what I mean? He wants to fucking
Gets cold.
yeah.
Did you see what's going on in the UK? The UK has banned advertisements that feature unobtainable bodies. There's I
Jesus,
retweeted
the way he
I tweeted it recently.
The way they eat fish and chips over there, that's gonna be most of advertising.
Well, they had these ads for summer bodies. You know, you see a girl in a bikini, and they're now making it illegal to put those
Why
kind of
can't you
ads up.
aspire to that? Like
Well-
I look at that Aquaman guy that makes me want to go to the gym. I don't be like, oh, you know, he's got a full head of hair. And look at you got to make me feel better.
It's because the people that complain. Who are the people that complain? The people that complain are the people that don't want to work to be that lady. They don't want to work to get that kind of a body, and they just want to not see it. They don't want to go to the subway and see a body that they're never going to have.
Yeah, I saw an actress complaining one time because the studio told her that she needed to lose 15 pounds. I'm like, you can't drop 15 to star in a movie? I mean, what carrot can they
See, another example of the N type giving a theory or an abstraction or speculating about their own theories on a subject. And then Bill Burr, the STP, giving a real life example, telling a story, something that he's experienced.
specifically carrots, some veggies in your diet? What do they have to dangle in front of you to go to the fucking gym like the rest of us? Like I literally, because I always say, oh, guys don't have to deal with that. It's like, yeah, we do.
Of course,
Yes, we do.
Aquaman
Like,
had to deal with that.
I
What if
know-
he gained 20 pounds?
Dude, forget about him. If just having 5 lines in a fucking movie. If I am north of 171, 72 pounds, the fucking tweets I get, hey, Billy Booze Bag. Hey, Billy Bitch Tits. Hey, fat freckles. All of this shit that I get, like I know, like they sit there and they're like they're acting like fucking preteens where everything is just
There's another thing I also want to point out about SE DOMs is it's crazy the percentage of them have this intensity in their eyes. You notice this. They have this like almost like their eyes are really wide, like to take everything all in. You notice this with a lot of SPs, particularly the SE DOMs.
everything's about them and the whole fucking world gives a shit. Celebrities with their fucking political views is the funniest
Like
thing
they're
ever. It's like,
ultra-aware in the
you're
present
not-
moment.
You're not making anybody change their mind politically. I feel like I need to fucking speak up. It's like, no, you can't have the spotlight on you enough. That's all you're doing. Because all you're doing with that bullshit is, first of all, you're alienating half the fucking people that are going to go see whatever the fuck you're in. And then secondly, you're just getting on the radar of lunatics in white vans with 2 seats that are looking up how to fucking build pipe bombs. Like that's the fallout. It's like the jerk when he goes, average run-of-the-mill son of a bitch, you know, when he picks Steve Martin.
The idea that a girl shouldn't be asked to lose weight to look hot for a movie is fucking crazy because that's what you're playing. You're playing a hot woman. That's part of the job.
And there's millions. Dude, everybody's in shape. I remember fucking seeing. I used to do a bit about this. I saw.
So every single clip, basically, every single few seconds, Bill Burr's giving a real life example, giving some sort of real life example. He'll either give like sports examples or experiences or things he's witnessed, or relating something to something he's experienced or witnessed. And Joe Rogan has given 0. He's given none. He's simply grabbing from his intuition, basically.
Ben Stiller in Meet the Fockers or something. There was a scene where he had to have his shirt off in the pool. He had fucking abs.
Yeah.
Every single time he gives a real life example. Every single time. And it's another thing that is just, it's bizarre to me how there's a typing system that recently typed him as ENFP, which is crazy to me. He is such an STP, it's ridiculous. He's got that no nonsense style. He's got so many. It's just he's the quintessential ESTP.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Because you were seeing the influence of the fucking internet. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, you know, it gets in your head. People just fucking trashing you. Like, I already knew I was unsightly, but I didn't realize how many things that people didn't enjoy about me until I got on the internet. I was like, wow, I never noticed that about myself. So, yeah, I don't have, look, if somebody really has like a fucking eating disorder, you know, if you're like fucking obese, I have sympathy for those people. But if you're 15 pounds, 20 pounds overweight, I mean, fucking, you know what, you drink some fucking smoothies.
These women that are playing these roles have to understand, first of all, that part of the reason why you got that role is not just because of your acting ability, but also because you're pretty. You have a beautiful face. You were born with it. You didn't even work at it. And then on top of that, you're supposed to be playing a beautiful person in the movie. They would like you to not be fat.
And so this is something you will notice, the difference between intuitive types and sensing types. Sensing types will give specific real-life examples, and intuitive types will still use them, but much less common.
Well,
It's that simple. That's not discrimination.
There's millions. So I always feel like your job is, even if you look like me, is to show up on time, knowing your lines in the best possible shape you could get yourself in.
If that's the role.
That's the. Even if I'm just fucking playing anybody.
What if you're Artie Lang? What if you're Artie Lang and you're supposed to play the guy that's smoking cigarettes and you're the brother-in-law that's drunk all the time?
Then your job's to look that way.
Yeah, your job's to look that way. Yeah, her job's to look like the hot woman that everybody wants to fuck. If they're telling you have to lose weight and you're a beautiful woman, it's because they want to make you more attractive. There's not like discrimination. There's a reason. They want a better product.
Oh, they want to make money.
Yeah, they're trying to make money. A better product.
And I'll tell you another thing too. Like, really, those both male and female, like those beautiful people at that level, it's like they're fucking aliens. Like, I've done a couple of movies. I did a movie one time, and I remember it was a scene, we were in a car, and the star of the movie was holding onto the steering wheel, and I was like I never thought this ever about a woman. I was like, her forearms are gorgeous. I was looking at him like I was like, those forearms are perfect. But I didn't make me, when I went to Stockholm, Sweden, how beautiful the people were there. I was walking down the street pointing at guys with my wife going, Nia, look at that guy. Look at that. That fucking guy, like he's like an accountant walking down the street. He's like, does he know if he fucking came over here, he'd be starring in movies? And that's not all of Sweden, by the way. That's like just when you're in Stockholm. That's
And for those people who try to say that Bill Burr is an ISTP because he said things like he doesn't like people. He said it usually in bits or on talk shows where he's trying to do some sort of bit, as you know. So you'll hear this from ETs, usually extroverted people with thinking. They'll say things like this, like they don't like people, but they do like people. They like the energy they get from people. It's just that they may have some trust issues with people is what it comes down to. But they still like to have friends around, and they like to. So one of the trademarks of an extrovert, in fact, one of the best ways to tell someone's an extrovert, if they love to tell stories, especially in a group. Okay, so storytelling and joke telling is one of the best markers for extroversion.
It's like they're Manhattan, so all the beautiful fucking people. But I mean, I went to this went and bought like a magazine or something like that when I was over there. And the woman behind the counter was like a fucking 11 here. But she was working at a magazine stand, so that was her energy. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm working in a magazine stand. My dream hasn't come true yet. And you're just looking at him like you could sign with who was that big modeling agency? Yeah, like that all like Cindy Crawford and all them were with back in the day.
The Vikings. It's Viking blood. The best looking people. They went over there and raped and pillaged, and all that good DNA is left there. They caught the best women. They kept them alive. Killed everybody else.
Oh, is that what happened?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Vikings.
But like
that's why
I've literally had a conversation like this with an STP before. I had a really good ESTP friend, and we'd been on road trips or something. We used to travel all over the country, fucking go partying every night and get drunk. It was back in my early days. I don't drink anymore. But anyway, I would want to like bring up these theories and talk about abstractions and, you know, speculate and just talk about interesting ideas. And, you know, he'd humor me for a little bit, but this is so similar to an interaction I've had with ESTPs, where they're just kind of like, oh yeah, is that right? Okay, Mike.
Big, beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, they're super
Perfect
tall. That's one of the
features.
funniest things ever. When you go over to like the what do they call those? The Nordic, and then Scandinavia's within the Nordic countries. I always have to remind myself of that. Like you'd go over there, it was the funniest fucking shit because they're so goddamn tall.
I already showed you guys this, but still, that to sum it up, guys, I mean, that's really, really good way to end this. Instantly goes back to a real life example again. So anyway, guys, Joe Rogan is not an ESTP. He is the most commonly mistyped celebrity. He is an ENTP. I'm open to believing maybe a very extroverted INTP, but he's very high in extroversion. So that's the most honest typing that could be given to Joe Rogan is ENTP. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. See you later.